It's been a couple of weeks, so I wanted to give you guys an update on my 30 to 32nd week of twin pregnancy. It's been interesting. I think the last place I left you guys off at was that I had had my obstetrician appointment, my second one, and they said that they probably want me to deliver by 38 weeks, which at this point, guys, is like 6 weeks away, the latest. So things are getting a bit intense at the moment. I'm trying my best to stay as calm as possible, but the concept of them actually being here is I feel like they're sneaking up on me, like they're getting closer and closer behind me, and I can kind of feel them here. I am starting to feel like the end is near. But yeah, that was the last place I left you guys off at. Since then, I've had another midwife appointment, which went okay. I'm finding that my obstetrician appointments and my midwife appointments are quite similar, so we kind of discuss similar things. So she just kind of asked me how I was doing, and I let her know how I was feeling. I am beginning to feel really heavy. I don't know if I've said that before. I think I have, but now I feel really, really heavy. So that was like some of my feedback. Of course, there's not really anything she can do about that because I'm carrying 2 babies. So I guess that's probably expected. So I let her know I was feeling a bit heavy. My sleeping, my hip pain has actually started to ease a bit, which I thought would just get worse because, you know, the babies are getting heavier. But I think I mentioned that I did attend a baby class. If I haven't mentioned that, then I did. I attended a baby class and they were basically talking about hip pain and back pain, and they essentially said what you experience at night is a consequence of what you've been doing during the day. So I've really been trying to work on my posture during the day, trying to make sure that I'm comfortable, that I'm not standing for too long. I think the standing was probably part of my issue because I have been doing my best to stay as active as I can. I haven't been back to the gym in some time, and because I know I haven't been back to the gym, I kind of make it my mission every day to get a few things done around the house. I don't stay all day in bed if I'm not feeling unwell, so I'll get up and do the dishes. I have been doing laundry as well, but I'm starting to struggle with picking stuff up and putting it in the washing machine, so I have been getting my son to kind of help me put stuff in the washing machine, and if there's anything I can't do, then I'll just leave it for my husband to help me with. So I let her know that the hip pain was easing. Maybe I haven't told you guys yet, but I did have a physiotherapy appointment scheduled, which I wasn't able to attend. I essentially ended up having 4 appointments scheduled on the same day, 2 of which were at the same time. So I had my blood glucose test, my physiotherapy appointment, my obstetrician appointment, and I believe a midwife appointment, all scheduled within 2 days. So I decided that I wasn't going to go to the physiotherapy appointment. It wasn't a midwife appointment, it was the class, all on the same day. So I decided that I wouldn't go to the midwife appointment and I'd go to the class, because when they sent me the invite for the class, they didn't send anything about how to reschedule it. So I got that invite by text, but the physiotherapy appointment came with information about how to reschedule if I couldn't attend. So I thought, okay, I'll reschedule the physiotherapy appointment and I will go to the baby class. I was hoping that they would do something about twin pregnancy, but it was really actually quite physiotherapy based. At one point I was kind of unsure of where I was. I wasn't sure if I had attended the physiotherapy class, because both of them were virtual. So it was very about posture, about hip pain. They spoke a bit about coning, when your belly goes like this, like when you're putting a bit too much strain on your stomach, which I have been getting out of bed and stuff. So I've been working on like how I get out of bed, how I sit up, and that seemed to have helped with my hip pain. The blood glucose test clashed with the obstetrician appointment, so I actually decided not to go to the blood glucose test and to go to the obstetrician appointment, because I wanted to speak to the doctor. And also my obstetrician appointment was booked about 3 months ago, very much in advance, like many months ago in January, and the blood glucose test came second. So I thought to myself, okay, I'll reschedule the blood glucose test and I'll go to the obstetrician appointment, especially because I haven't been like showing any signs of preeclampsia or anything like that. So My blood pressure is always fine and there isn't any protein in my urine or anything like that. So I thought, okay, maybe I could put off the blood glucose test for a week. At this point, I still haven't had my blood glucose test. I called to reschedule and they said that the next time that they have available is basically 3 days before my due date, 3 days before my 40-week due date. So I told the lady on the phone, like, probably by that time, actually I'm almost certain by that time they will already be here, so there's no point. So they did try to put me in for another test in another hospital, so they've sorted that out for me, but I don't have it for another couple of weeks. I'm actually not looking forward to it. I know people go on about the juice that they give you, which doesn't really bother me. I think it kind of tastes like Fanta. It's more the fasting, because I do really feel quite lightheaded when I don't eat. So I'm hoping that that isn't too difficult. So I had a midwife appointment. If I haven't mentioned it already, I had the obstetrician appointment. Yeah, basically they said they wanted to make sure that I was delivered by 38 weeks. They showed me like the trust or the organizations, the hospital's policy around twin pregnancy. And essentially I went through that conversation with the midwife, and the midwife said, you know, how comfortable they are with what you do kind of depends on the consultant in charge. And that can kind of vary from day to day and shift to shift. So it seems as though the first obstetrician that I saw was maybe a bit more open to kind of leaving me to, you know, just go along with the process. And this second one that I've spoken to isn't so much. So we did have conversations at the obstetrician and with the midwife about scheduling the C-section. I don't want the C-section if I can help it. So I do have a bit of reluctance around scheduling a C-section, but they did say, or at least in the policy, it says that, you know, past 38 weeks, that there will be increased chances of fetal distress. The midwife did mention though that with singleton pregnancies, if they recommend that you give birth by a certain time or a certain date and you would prefer to kind of wait it out a little while, that they can do increased monitoring. So my next obstetrician appointment, which is in a couple of weeks, I will be speaking to them about that. They did let me know that if I scheduled a C-section and I changed my mind, then that would be fine. But the obstetrician did say that it's kind of easier to get a slot in advance than it is in an emergency or at short notice. So if I schedule one now or soon, then I'll be able to pick the date and all of that kind of stuff. We also spoke about inducing labour or encouraging labour. The obstetrician gave me like a few options about how they might want to do that. I think I don't want to take any hormones at the moment. I think that's the decision that I'm making at the moment. So I don't mind any inductions that are non-hormonal based. So if they want to do a sweep, and she mentioned a balloon, if they want to do that, then I'm absolutely fine with that. But I think once we start getting into hormones, then I think I might just prefer to go for the C-section. So she basically said to just think about that and think about my options. I think my next appointment will be when I need to know for certain, or at least more for certain. So I'm going to spend a couple of weeks doing a bit of research and reading and thinking about it and all of that kind of stuff. Of course, they can't make you do what you don't want to do, as with anything, but my main priority is keeping my twins safe, of course, and me safe. So I don't want to compromise that at all. I think I was more happy when I left my first obstetrician appointment than I was when I left this one. The midwife did say, you know, it does depend on who is there when I get to the hospital when I'm delivering, but I definitely do not want to be like, I know they're saying they're not going to force you. I also spoke to them about the epidural, and I want them to tell me if they would prefer for me to have an epidural, and if that conversation is going to come up whilst we're in labour, then I'd like to have that conversation now. I don't want to wait until we're in the moment and they're talking about epidurals, because unless I need one, I don't want one. That is a position that I have at the moment. I also want to go to the dentist, so I spoke to the midwife. Here you get free dental care. I think it's up to 6 months after you've given birth and whilst you're pregnant. So I want to go and get like a clean and things done to my teeth and apparently you need some kind of code or some kind of approval or something from your midwife to get it, and I didn't have mine, so I asked her for that and she has sent that over to me. So I will be scheduling a dental appointment to see if I can get in before they come. She was also able to listen to the babies again for me, so they were able to use the doctor to find both of their heartbeats. Both of their heartbeats actually sound different, which I didn't notice so much the last time I heard them, but there was like a significant difference in the way that their hearts were beating. You could tell that one was different from the other, which was pretty cool. The baby B at the top, he's still transverse, and his one was faster than baby A, who's still head down. And she made a joke like, oh, maybe baby B is more active or hyper. And I was like, I can actually tell. He definitely is more active, but I think part of it is down to his positioning. I just think he's got more space. I feel baby A in my back quite a lot, and really low down, like really low down. I have always felt like baby A is just, he's just like knocking. He's ready to come out. Of course, I know that it's not possible for him to come out, but in the beginning when I was feeling lots of pressure, and even now if I squat down, I feel like he's just ready to he's ready to be free. So I definitely also think that this labor is not going to be slow, though. I think they'll be out very quickly, or at least baby A, I think he will be out very quickly. Most of the women in my family have had really quick births, and so I just feel like something in me is saying they might not be ready to come out yet, but I think when they do start making their way out, that it won't be very long. I was in labor with my son for about 4 hours, but I went from like 2 centimeters dilated to 10 centimeters dilated in like 45 minutes. The rest of it was just pushing. So I think that they will be out quickly, which I'm looking forward to, actually. I would like it to be quick if it can be. Quick and safe if it can be. At the midwife appointment, I asked her about the glucose test and, you know, if she felt as though we needed to do anything to kind of push the appointment forward so that I could have it sooner, and she said that she didn't really think so, that she felt like it might be okay for me to wait until a couple of weeks time to have it, because I'm not showing any other signs of any issues with my sugar or anything like that. She did though tell me that my iron is quite low. It's not outside of normal range. So she said something like normal range begins at 110 and I am at 113. So I'm at the lower end of normal. So I have been trying to make an effort to kind of integrate more iron into my diet. I've actually been quite liking steaks. So I've been having steaks. And also I did some research that like dried apricots have lots of iron in it. So I've been eating dried apricots, spinach, and broccoli and cabbage. I know it's possible to, you know, like just take an iron tablet, but I really would prefer to kind of manage that with my food. So I've been working on trying to do that to get my iron numbers up, because I did let her know that sometimes I am feeling lightheaded. I am seeing, like, you know, the little white flecks in your eyes. I am seeing that a bit sometimes, like if I go from lying down to sitting up really quickly, or if I get too hungry. So she said that the effects of your iron lowering can sometimes cause dizziness, even if your iron isn't lowering into the low ranges. Just the fact that it's just gone down a bit can affect you in that way. I've also had the photo shoot, the maternity shoot that I told you guys I didn't want to do. I did it. And actually it was pretty painless. Actually, it was really tiring, but we were able to get through all of the pictures in like an hour and a half, which really worked for me because I was struggling. I just had to come home and sleep afterwards. At this point I have seen some of the pictures and I really like them. They're so cute. I've got plans for like a boys room or a toy room that has, you know, these little pictures on them. So I was reluctant to go and it was tiring, but I'm glad that I was able to do it. I have been taking like personal pictures, but I've just been really tired. So like taking pictures hasn't really been the first thing on my mind, or something that's like at the forefront of my mind, taking pictures. And I know that once the time's passed, I might feel as though I wish I'd taken more, especially if this does end up being my last pregnancy. I've also been having those discussions with my husband about, you know, are we going to have any more children? I definitely think that's a decision for us that we're going to make once they come. I won't be getting pregnant in the near future, but For me, it's not something I've written off to do in like a few years' time. I think I've still got a bit of time. I guess we'll see how well we cope with twins, if we are overwhelmed or, you know, we feel as though it's not something we want to try and do again. Because now I've had one set of twins, or I'm going to have one set of twins, the chances of me having another set of twins is really high. And I don't, if I'm honest, I really don't want to do this again. I don't want to do twin pregnancy again. So that would probably be the only thing for me that would put me off doing it again. It hasn't been fun. So next up for us is blood glucose test. I have an obstetrician appointment as well, or obstetrics appointment, where we will be sorting out the plan for labour. And then after that, a week after that, I have another midwife appointment. And then I think I start having like obstetrician appointments every 2 weeks. I think that's how it works. So I think the next time I speak to you guys will be an update on the obstetrician appointment and the midwife appointment and the blood glucose test. And we will be nearing the time when they will be here. At the obstetrics appointment that I've had this time, she did mention, you know, trying to start encouraging them to come out at 36 weeks, which is also mind-blowing because that's only like 4 weeks away. I had a sweep with my son and I gave birth to him the same day. I think if they give me a sweep, it's over. They're gonna come out. That's what I think. She said, "Oh, maybe we can just have one sweep at week 36, and then we can have more if, you know, if nothing happens." I think if they bother them, they're gonna come out. Oh, I'm also on maternity leave now, so yes, I'm excited. Which also means that I'm gonna try and push some more additional content out for you guys. I'm hoping that my consistency is just going to get better. We do have somebody coming to clean also, so that's going to happen. Somebody's coming to clean the carpets and the sofa, and we should have all of our baby stuff, as in like gear and cribs and all of that kind of stuff, here within the next couple of weeks. I'm slightly concerned about that because I feel like if they were to come early, then we don't really have anywhere for them to sleep. But if they were to come early, then I'd presume that they'd need to spend a bit of time in hospital anyway. We did also managed to pick up a pram, so we need like a couple of prams, and we managed to pick up one. It's still in the car, so I can't show it to you guys now, but I will put up a picture of it. We managed to get it from John Lewis. It was on sale. I think it retails for like £1,000. They had it on sale like there right in front of you for like £200. So we got a really good deal, and we're so excited. Also, one of the wheels are squeaky, and the lady at John Lewis said that we can contact the company. I can't remember if they're called Mountain Deer or what the company name is, but I'll put it here. But we can contact them and they'll replace it. I was also thinking about picking up the Bugaboo Donkey, but the way it closes, or you know, the size it is once it collapses, it is still so big. There aren't really any other prams that I really like. My husband doesn't really want them to be on top of each other, because you know, sometimes they have those double prams where you can have a baby maybe facing that way and a baby facing this way, and they kind of sit on each other like this. He doesn't really want that. So the side by side is a style that I think we both prefer, but it's just when you close them, they're just so huge. The car, we still haven't heard from Range Rover. They said that they would contact us when we're in April now, aren't we? Yeah, they said they'd contact us this month for us to come and test drive the new car, the new 7-seater. So we are just waiting for them to contact us about the car. So I think it's gonna start picking up now a bit more. I'm still out of breath, if you guys can't tell, and I do feel heavy. I feel huge. We have a running joke, like I need sensors on my bum with like a voice. I don't know if they have that in America, but sometimes for like the big trucks, when they reverse in, they'll like make a noise and beep. I seriously, I need that to put on my bum for when I'm moving around. But I'm grateful that everything's going fine. The twins are fine. I'm fine. Just tired and heavy, and I'm excited because they're going to be here soon. And I look at pictures of my son as a baby, and I'm like 2. I feel so lucky, I really do. It's good times. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed this update. Let me know if you have any questions or anything down in the comments, and I will be back in 2 weeks for another update if they're not here in between time. I'll be back with another update on my twin pregnancy. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and I will see you in my next video. No bump. This is my bump. I don't know how I always forget. See you in my next video. Bye. Thank you for watching.